Community Engagement Councils. We're a CEC school. So the vision and the mission of the Lawrence County School District, the vision of the Lawrence County School District is to become an A district while striving for each individual to reach his or her greatest potential. Our mission of the Lawrence County School District is to include all stakeholders in being intentional and purposeful about the education provided to our students. We will provide an education of the highest quality that will prepare and equip all students to compete in our global society. So we have some district goals. We will provide a safe and secure learning environment for all students, increase student achievement at all schools throughout the district, maintain a financially sound budget, improve community relations and stakeholder involvement, and provide a positive work and school environment for teachers and students. So, question, what is the Community Engagement Council? Well, the Community Engagement Council group focused on improving the school district. So, we all know at this time, New Hebron is an F school. It's rated an F school. We are not planning on staying there. We have seen so much growth this year. Right now, we're looking at holding a C, and we're about 15 points. Last time I looked at our data from last week, we're about 15 points from a B. So our students know exactly where we're headed, and we are headed in the right direction. We have a bunch of consultants that are coming in, working with teachers and students individually. We also have an after-school program for third graders in order for them to pass that state test. So we started that in January. So we got a good jump on trying to make sure that those students get past the state test, third graders. So it's self-governed and members are responsible for running these meetings. The CEC and the school districts must work together to be successful. CEC is not the same though as the school board, but it does not have the authority to set any policies. So it's a lot different from the school board. So who shall establish a CEC? Any district with a grade of a D or F shall establish a CEC. So our district is not a D or a C. It's not a D or an F, but this school is an F. So any school rated a D or an F shall establish a CEC. Districts with several schools rated D or an F may choose to have one district CEC instead of multiple school CECs. So we don't have to stay, and we don't look to be a CEC school next year. We don't look to have to be in this category for next year if we move out of a D or the F to out of a D to a C. The CEC, the data review. So each year, CEC should set goals based on a review of the following data. So we have to look at our district strategic plan plus our school improvement plan, which we have one available. We have a district report card and we have a school report card, which is on our Facebook page, and our district climate data, such as our discipline. And we have that, readily available for any of the CEC members. So why are CEC important? It's the same as raising children. It takes a village. So it takes the community support in order to get behind the school and help improve it. CEC represents the local community and supports school improvement efforts, offers the feedback, and offers helps and provides the additional resources. So if someone in the community has asked to come in and volunteer to read to students, that is a part of the role of CECs also. So you can volunteer in the evenings, you can volunteer during the day. Who is responsible for the success of the CECs? So whoever the members are, you have to go in and you have these meetings. You have to hold 6 meetings. And the school officials we are not members, but we do work together, but we're not the members of it. And what we do, we work together, we provide all of the documentation that they're looking for at this time. Just like tonight's meeting, we're live stream, and we have to upload everything to the State Department. So everything the CEC Council does, it is submitted to the State Department. And whoever is over the CEC, if you want to give me the information to upload, I can, or I can give you the site where it can be uploaded to. So we have got to establish a CEC. So the first thing we're doing tonight, we're communicating the information about CECs. We're describing what it is, and we're sharing the opportunities to get involved. And we've got to schedule and publicize the upcoming information for the sessions and the next time that we will meet in order for you all to vote on who's going to be a part of the council. The holding information session about the CEC. So we got to emphasize the importance of CECs in the community. That means going into the churches, in the businesses, and letting them know that the importance of being a part of this council. So we got to gather interest forms. So there will be forms sent out, or you could stop by the school and get one, where you tell us what you're interested in seeing here at the school. And that's what the CEC will work on, providing those things for the schools. And then we have another form that will go out for you all to nominate a person to play a role on the CEC council. So host elections to select CECs. You will have plenty of time because those elections will not be due until February the 28th is the date that I scheduled it. But I will make sure that I send all of that information out. It will be available in the office, and then we can have another meeting if you all choose to have one before then, in order to nominate and vote on who you want to be the chair. We have a chair, we have a vice chair, we have a secretary, and we have a treasurer. And I think that was probably the next one. So who shall be included in the broad spectrum of the community? Who serves on the CEC? As you can see, the elected officials, you have business leaders, you have your pastors, you have your social service directors. Parents, of course, should be the number one, I thought, but that's how they put it on MDE's website. We have retirees, college students, and we have PK-12 educators. But PK-12 educators cannot serve on that board. We cannot be like the president or, vice. So it has to be the community. Who governs the CEC? So the district and the schools we do not govern it, but we do work side by side and coming up with what is best for the school. And each CEC should set its own principles to govern how the meetings will run. And CECs can select officers or identify specific roles to ensure that meetings are productive. So we do have a chair. I talked about that a few minutes ago. We have a chair, we have a vice chair, we have a secretary, and we have a communications liaison. I'm sorry, I said treasurer, but so treasurer's not on there. It is a communications liaison. And what do CECs do? So they run an activity, whether it is after school activity supports, whether it is a book drop off or donations of books. You can do something through the church. I have had some churches to make little bags up for the students and donate those bags, whether it be deodorant and soap, because we still have students with personal hygiene needs. And we've had churches to donate little bags, and they're really nice little bags that they have given us with soap and deodorant and things of that nature. A lot of times we don't think about things like that, but there are still families out there that are still struggling with just basic needs. So how can CECs influence policy? So since CECs does not have the same governing policies as our school board, they can share their recommendations. I'm pretty sure the big topic is about students and hoodies, and I know the students would love to wear a hoodie all day, and the CEC may decide, well, what's the problem? So we can sit down with the local school board and the principal and talk about how can we change some of maybe the dress code issues, things of that nature. But of course, we don't have the final say-so. CEC does not have the final say-so as the local school board. I ran through that really quick because I kind of talk a little fast. But are there any questions when it comes down to the CEC?
How many members are you looking to have?
I would love to have at least 6. That's on the governing body, but everybody can be a part of it. But to get everything moving and started, setting the meetings and going out into the community, I would love to have 6 people to get together and get this thing up and running. So, if you feel like you want to be a part of the CEC, if you would take your phone out and scan that Q code, it will tell you everything that CEC person, every part of it. It tells you exactly what the guidance of the whole document does and what you will fulfill. And it'll take you straight to MDE's website. And if it doesn't work, please let me know and I'll print off a copy.
You put your camera on.
Oh, just a camera?
So are the nomination forms on here? This
The
looks like a
nomination
manual.
forms are on there, but I can print some out. Like I said, I'm gonna have them here at the school, and you can stop by, and nominate someone that you want on the council. And we'll put them in a little bowl, and we'll let you all select, just like going to the voting precinct.
Do you have any available tonight?
I can print it off, yes.
Okay.
You might have said something, but does the CEC do fundraisers?
It did not say anything in there concerning the finance part. I did not read that, and nor did Ms. Sonia, who's over
So we're-
Office of School Improvement, say
So the
anything.
CEC is basically just boys, a vocal.
Yes, ma'am. And they do little, they do projects with the schools.
Okay, so like getting support, it would be the CEC that goes out to the community?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. But I will ask that question just to make sure. I'll send that in to MDE and ask them. But Miss Christie and Miss Kelsey was at the meeting also. Did y'all hear anything concerning?
I didn't hear anything about, fundraisers or anything, it's mostly just, my opinion, it is to, increase student achievement. I think that's where we're headed.
And the projects that she was talking about, like the bags of supplies and things like that, that's gonna be something that more so you're going to go to your community, to your churches and things like that, and maybe ask for those rather than try to raise the funds yourself.
Are there examples of other schools that had a low grade report card that put together a CEC and some things that they did that helped
Yes,
raise
ma'am.
the
So
score?
Simpson County has a CEC council, and we're trying to get with them to see everything that they've done. So, Miss Misty Hannah, over federal programs there, collaborates with their CEC person. She said that they have a very low turnout.
Mhm.
She said it's really difficult. She said they tried really hard last year. So they're starting this year just like we did. They had their first meeting, I wanna say 2 weeks ago. We met last week. We were in Starkville last week where we met, me and Miss Hannah, because we were all at a meeting. We have to do convening meeting that we all attended in Starkville, and she said that the turnout was still very low, just trying to get the community involved. She said they had, Trustmark Bank they had pizzas. They had 12 pizzas still left over because nobody showed, no one wanted to participate.
So nobody wanted to be on the CEC.
What is the downside? Why do they not want to be involved?
Well, it's kind of hard when, you don't have the support that you need from, just like when you have PTOs or when you ask for parents to come in and just for regular things and they won't show. So that's what it's about. We just need everybody to come out and support the school. We support the games. If it's an event, the basketball and the football, they'll come out and support their children. But these meetings are important also. because it helps our children get the things that they need. And it shows that you care about the school that your children go to, that your children attend.
Well, I'm sure on down the line, but is it available to get some of the tracking information on, like, are the children lowest in reading? You know, I can see where somebody coming in and sitting with a child and letting the child read to them and them read to the child, that would help. Will that information be available? Or
Yes, ma'am.
if they're low in math, you know, you could have some adults come in and help them with math at different times.
Yes, ma'am, that's available.
That's what I was thinking, so you can focus on the areas.
That you need. Will you, as an administrator, provide areas where, you know, just like the deodorant thing, like a list of needs
I
that
can do
that
that.
the school needs?
Yes, ma'am. I
That
can
would
do
be real helpful.
Most definitely, I can do that. And we need a lot of, I would say, during these times, students with social and emotional needs. That's the biggest issue. Dealing with peer pressure, dealing with, because children go home to different issues. You may have a perfect life at home. There may not be an argument at your house, but at somebody else's house, it's probably different. So just them having to come to school with all of the stuff that they deal with coming from home keeps them, and it hinders them from receiving the information and retaining the information that the teacher has taught during the school day. So being a mentor, encouraging those that do not want to do work in class, that may want to sleep all day.
Because they've been up all
All
night.
night. On a video game.
Calling you on your cell
Right.
phone. I
That's
had some
exactly
kids
right.
calling me last week on my cell phone, and I could hear them laughing in the background. They even FaceTimed me.
Mhm.
I don't know if they knew what they were doing or not. And I told them, I said, you got the wrong number. That's the first thing I said. And they kept calling and laughing and hee. And it was after 9 o'clock, and I thought, why aren't these kids in bed? Because they had school the next day.
And no one was making them go to bed. No one is making sure that their babies are in bed at night.
Right.
Mhm. So we deal with a lot of little issues. We deal with the cell phone issues all the time. They bring them. Some have 2, 3 at a time. You take one, you get another one when you get home.
Ms. Yarber and I have talked many times about how, you know, back when we were in school, that she had music and they don't have music anymore, and that's, cause that was always a time that kids could come in and they could just sing and just be happy and,
The fun part of the day.
yes.
The fun part
And
of the day.
that's a terrible thing that's not provided anymore.
I agree. But when they give us those teacher units, you have to make those critical decisions. So you're kind of left with, if you only have 18 teacher units, you can't take it from math, and you definitely don't want to take it from English, so.
Might have to take a poll and see how many teachers can play the piano.
Right, exactly, most definitely. But we do have a lot of needs, here at the school. I do know that they're working on getting us some air in our gym. I was so glad to see the men on the campus looking, to put that air conditioning unit in the gym. So I know parents will be excited. They don't have to sit in the hot gym any longer as soon as that's done. But any little thing, potholes out in the parking lot. Parents are going around the car rider line and there are holes there. They're gonna fall off in those holes.
Have you talked to the supervisor about that? Well, I might jack him up a
I
little
say,
bit.
write him down and call him.
But they're just a lot of little things. We have a beautiful tennis court out there that could be used. It's a gorgeous tennis court. And we had one parent, Mr. Busby, Grant Busby, has done an awesome job, y'all. He cut down all the old trees, bushes, and have cleaned up around the fence row. He fixed the fence. He has done a remarkable job here. He put out straw for me, and he does it when he comes in from his hitch. And we never know he's on campus unless I see that little old tractor out there. He doesn't say a word. He just get out there and get it done. Anything else you need? That's what we need. We need commitment.
I'm not taking,
Is he a parent?
He is a parent.
no.
An
During
awesome
the
parent.
holidays, I made the boys, clean up, pick up trash around the tennis courts.
Mhm.
We, put up basketball nets on basketball, that was us.
Well, thank you, because we did not know you done that. We did not know.
We
We
did that during the
appreciate that.
holidays.
We do appreciate that.
But
Because
we
there
said we
are,
were gonna,
there are bottles out there, beer bottles,
there was
all
lots
kinds of
everywhere.
things. Everybody thinks that they could just come to the playground after hours and have a great time. But they don't realize our little ones are out there playing and they can get hurt, cut on glass bottles and other things that shouldn't be out on the playground.
I agree.
So we would love a big fence if we could just go across to keep the traffic over the weekend, keep people from coming in, cause it's an open canvas. There are a list of things, AED machines. We saw where the football player collapsed.
We don't have anything like that here.
We have nothing.
Working on it.
We're working. Ms. Brandy has written some grants. And we have had a student from another team to, they had an accident out there and it took 22 minutes. That was a long 22 minutes for me, for them to pick that baby up off that football field.
So the county doesn't provide any of that?
Have you spoken to the school board about having them have an ambulance up here for
I have
those
not
kinds of
spoken with the
games?
school board about the ambulance.
Cause I'm sure that can be arranged if you talk to the right person.
That's our goal, cause it's a contract, to my
Yes.
understanding.
Mhm.
It is a contract that we have to sign.
Or at least have an athletic trainer.
On
And there's no reason not to have AED, they're not that expensive. The church bought one, didn't they, Christy?
They're $1,200.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But with community
$1,200
support,
is not that
we can
expensive when it
donate.
comes down to saving a child's
Child's
life.
life, that's exactly right.
I
And
mean,
we would need 4 because you have your football field, your basketball, you need one in your cafeteria, and you need one on your campus, in the school.
I just crossed some.
Head Start has one, I take that back, Head Start has one, they bought one for their children out there.
The
But
one
we
we're
can't
trying to
use that one, cause it's so little.
The one we're trying to get also has adult paddles and paddles for the smaller babies as well. So we're working with different avenues to try to find the best value, and to see how many we can get with the money that we raise as well. And that comes with the promise that everybody on campus will be trained in CPR and with the AED as well.
Have you spoken to Tony Norwood, the Lawrence County Emergency
I
Management?
haven't.
Cause he was the one who gave us the mask,
Oh, okay.
he gave us all the masks,
I think I have it.
he sure did.
I know we have a couple of businesses, locally and in Monticello that will be donating monetarily. So we are working toward it. I will definitely reach out to Mr. Norwood though.
Norton.
Norton,
No, Norwood.
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 Oh,
Tony
is it?
Norwood.
Tony
Okay.
Norwood, yeah.
And what about CPR class? Have they offered that up here for teachers? Do they,
they haven't in a while.
And not in a while.
I mean, cause they
Because
can
they,
do that.
yeah, they're free classes, some of them are free, you just have to pay for the license, the little card rather.
Well, I've got a guy with Homeland Security that just asked me about getting a class in this community, that I can get it done free of charge. We'll probably have to have it at the other library here, but, could probably do that for around 20 to 25 people to get them, certified for CPR and, just sort of it's called CERT, CERT. It's a Citizens Emergency Response.
I'm cert certified.
What's that?
I'm cert certified.
Oh, you're CERT certified?
Dave Nichols from
Yeah,
Monticello.
that's right. He came and talked to me right before Christmas and said he would like to do a class here in New Hebron, so, if you let me know when you'd like to do that, I can get that set up.
No problem. We can schedule a day. You want it in the evening time?
Probably would be best in the evening.
Any Saturdays maybe?
I can ask, it's usually, cause it's usually about 4 or 5 different meetings.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like an all-day thing, it's like
It's a lot.
2 hours.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's like,
You have a book and you have to learn the steps to go to it. You have to learn the skills to participate in. You have a lot of stuff to learn. Like me and Dave Nichols, the tornado in Bassfield, the big tornado, he called me around 5:30 one morning, asked me was I ready to go on the wheel. I was like, are you serious? But I got up as soon as he called. We went to JDC and we stayed there till about 3 o'clock. And we got 2 people out of the houses that was trapped. There was no way to get them out. And we followed protocol in the book and we got them out. No lives were lost the day we went, but we kept going back, providing just simple first aid. And that was it.
yeah, you learn how to
You learn a lot.
triage patients, like during an emergency. You learn how to cut gas off.
Set up a moored.
Mhm.
You can go along with it. It's not CPR first aid. You have to be CPR first aid already, certified already. But it's something like it. It's just more actual hands on.
How to move people and.
Yeah, they can do the CPR beforehand. You can set that up and then you go into that. So it would be nice to have some teachers certified.
I know all of our coaches are currently certified. They're required through Dragonfly, which is basically our eligibility portal. And so, in addition to the coaches, there's probably about 6 other staff members that also have the first aid. But I mean, it's been a while since I got my card, and I mean, there's a lot of things that when I took it, breathing was very important, and now it's the compression part, and so that's important. I know we could fill that class up.
Set it up. I'll pull out some dates for you.
Okay.
So about four days, maybe? Okay.
Send me your tentative ones and then I'll get with him and see when he can do it.
Not a problem. Are there any other questions concerning CEC?
So what's the next step?
We gotta have another meeting for elections.
We need more parent involvement, obviously. So how do we do that?
I sent home the flyers, I put it on Facebook, I do not.
Why don't you tell everybody they can get into a football game free next year if they show up this year?
Or
Might
drop
show up.
rate. Or drop rate.
Well, they don't show up for that at the PTO meeting.
You are right, they don't.
have parents
We
there.
get
Well, you know,
drop-
do they have a PTO meetings?
They hadn't this year, but they have been having.
That's what I was gonna come once and then it got canceled because of weather or something, and that was it. Okay. I haven't heard anything else. Had anything? Okay, so I didn't miss nothing.
Like for me as a college student, could I bring people in from my campus?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
That would be very helpful.
Here's Tony's number if you need it. It's 601-660-5018.
Thank you.
Are there Any other questions or comments?
Back when my first child was here, they had the Boys and Girls Club or group or whatever that was here after school. Why do they not have that anymore?
It probably was a grant.
I know that helped.
I think it was a miracle.
I worked full-time, wasn't home, after school and to provide homework, time after school. And I think that was the big thing with my first one, is we did homework immediately after school, or that's when she did it, and they helped with that program.
Right now, I do the 3rd grade boot camp, myself and one other teacher.
That's 3rd grade?
That's 3rd grade. I can't make them stay after school. I can't make teachers decide to stay after school.
I know the older kids helped with the younger kids, and mine can help, but mine also needs that time to say, okay, while it's fresh on your mind, do your homework. And I know this is what you have for homework, so do it. They get this age and they kind of, we don't have any homework.
Right.
Yeah, well, I know better. And that Boys and Girls group that was here, that helped tremendously.
Yes, ma'am. So we do have, since we're a TSI school, we do have, there will be funds that will be provided, and that's where I wanted a lot of our funds to go to, is an after school, but the problem is finding someone or finding individuals to stay, to do the after school program, for those students. And then for parents, it is the transportation. A lot of the parents, have a problem with picking their children up, coming up here to pick them up after hours. So that's been an issue even with the 3rd grade boot camp. And I tell them, Miss James can't take them home, but I stay until they get here. And it's a lot of times is well past the time that boot camp is over.
So could boot camp have a bus driver?
I don't think we have enough funds. That's the problem, it's the funding.
Yeah.
It's all about funding. Cause the teacher that's staying with me is staying for free right now. That's volunteer. She's doing a great job. We tag team, we, group those little babies in there because we know that they need it. They need that extra help getting past this 3rd grade test.
Miss James needs more teachers, period.
I do.
We've discussed it, me and her and I have discussed it, and I am trying to work on things, but she's so shorthanded on teachers, it's not even funny compared to the other schools in this county. Like, it's embarrassing. It makes me mad.
Is that because the county board will not allow any more teachers? Will not?
We only have 270
of the number of students.
And then you have where, one grade may be larger than the other. Cause I have like a 1st and 2nd grade classes, they are busting at the seams right now. I'm in desperate need of another 1st and 2nd grade teacher.
We have one 1st grade teacher, now we have 2 because she pulled somebody. Monticello Elementary has 4 of each. Their class ratio is 15 to 1 teacher, where ours are 27 and 30 to 1.
Who makes that decision?
Well, I made the decision to pull my interventionist to split that class.
I mean, that Monticello has 27 to,
Their units, their with units that they have.
I mean, we have 15 and we have 27.
It's due to population, student population.
Student population, teacher units.
What do you mean by teacher units?
So if you have, like they may have 400 students. So you get more teacher units, the more students that you have.
Or do they have that many students?
I'm not sure what their population is, but it's way above ours.
The ratio wise, I don't get the 15 to 1 even if they have more students, seems like it should be based on the number in the class.
It's total enrollment and total teachers.
They have
How it's broken down.
Okay, according to this, New Hebron has 287 students, is that correct?
We've lost some.
But is that about correct? Okay, Monticello has 337. So it's not but 50.
That's not a lot of difference.
I've got this I want you to look at before I leave.
I will.
I haven't been able to come by. Because if you look at it, you will be mad. And I have expressed this to Jared, and Jared was supposed to speak to Daly, but I don't know if that ever happened. So, but I want you to look at it. Okay. But there's only 50 kids. That's not a big difference. That's why I think it's just
We know why.
crap.
Yeah, there's only
It's been the
50.
stepchild for a long, long time, many years.
But our school board is Mildred, so regardless as to what you say to the
No, well, yes.
attorney,
But he's still got to be the one to approve where these teachers go. He's the boss of who you answer to, right?
I answered to Mr. Daly.
Yeah.
That's what I
I mean, a buck stops with him as far as placement.
Well, that could definitely make a difference in grades. So,
That's why we're an F school.
I mean,
That's
exactly.
exactly why we're an F school.
There's not enough teacher interaction.
Right.
I agree, and it's been that way.
I mean, they have 6 third grade classes at Monticello Elementary. They have 10 kids in each class. Yes, ma'am.
So Ms. Christie, what's the solution to that?
I'm not sure I know the solution to that. Well, I know the solution, but I'm not sure how you would, you know.
How long has it been that way at Monticello? Maybe it's something they're just trying out to see if it's, you know,
What, smaller classes? No, I don't think so. New Hebron's always gotten the short end of the stick as far as I'm concerned.
Just
And
like,
every year it's gotten worse and worse.
just like last year's 8th grade group, it was like 30 in each class, and there was, what, they had 3 classes?
We busted y'all up into 3. That is true.
Isn't that against the law legally? State ratio?
So there is a
I thought 18 was the limit.
I believe it's
18 is not the
24.
limit, it's
It's 27
27,
for K through,
K through 2.
Third.
yes, and then departmentalized is 33.
Okay, well, see, first grade is not legal.
But it has an assistant in it. The reason why it's low is because it has an assistant.
Yeah, it's
It
27
can't
and
be, it
assistant.
can't be 1 to 27. It can't be just one teacher to 27. Well, it's a little to it now.
So that one assistant and one teacher, and that's
Right,
good
it's 2.
enough.
So does Monticello split it up smaller classes, so there's a more, smaller teacher ratio to student, smaller students to teacher ratio? Or do they also have assistants to fill in?
I don't know how many assistants they have. I don't know.
How many teacher units does New Hebron have?
Right now we have 21.
And how many do you need?
I'll take 25. I'll be, I'll take 40.
How many assistants do y'all have for the school?
Assistants, we have 6.
Okay, that's what I have. They have 1, 2, 3, 8.
Well, I guess it might be helpful to have some of those nomination forms in our hand when we walk out of here.
We will do.
If you
Yeah.
do that.
I can get those now. And I'll go down there and I'll print those off if there are no other questions. And I can bring those back and you all can actually do some nominations tonight if you like. That's what you wanna do? I can do that.
One more question. What would be helpful from a college student to give back to the kids, like going to the kids? What are y'all looking for?
Come read to our children. They love that. They love it. One-on-one, reading to them, they really look up to the older ones. They enjoy that. So that will be helpful. Because we need reading. We definitely need that. I'll be right back with those foundations for us.
If y'all would like something to drink or like a snack or something, you can feel free to come to the table till she comes back with those forms. Or I can bring it to you. Would you like Coke, Sprite, water? Cindy, you want some water or something?
I'm good.
Pam?